Here we go. All right, so I am using a DJI FLIP drone, and I was nervous to fly this bad boy, but I was on vacation in Colombia, so I definitely wanted to get some airtime in, and I wanted to fly in an area where I didn't feel I had too many obstacles that can cause me to crash, because you don't want to crash a $1,000 drone. You know what I mean? So I was extra cautious flying around these areas. There's a lot of power lines and a lot of palm trees, and when the wind is blowing, it doesn't respond that well. But luckily, this day it was not that windy. So I was just practicing and getting the feel for how it, feels to fly and be able to not really um have any obstacles, because most places you fly, you're gonna have a lot of electrical power lines, and you have a lot of trees. And if you're on the ground, it's kind of hard to look up into the sun, which I learned that pretty quick. So here I went up to my buddy's. His room was on like the ninth floor, so I was able to launch from his balcony, which helped out a lot because, like I said, when you're going from the ground, you try to go up high, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna have a hard time seeing your drone. So this way, I was able to kind of keep it almost eye level. So right there is about um, almost level with where I was flying from, so I could see the drone really well, and I was able to get some pretty nice scenery of the skyline here. This is Laguito in Colombia, and this is behind the Hilton Hotel, and that's me right there on the balcony. Like I said, I didn't go too high because once you go high, it is hard to see. At least for me, it is. I don't know. I was debating if I was getting me some kind of polarized sunglasses or something, but I don't think that would really help. It's like things you gotta just kind of get used to, keeping an eye on it and trying to see where you're flying into. Because when you're looking at your screen, you can see what camera's looking, but you might not see if you're going sideways, if you're gonna brush over to a branch. And I did that one time. I hit a branch and it flipped it over. And as soon as you flip it over, it cuts off the propellers, I guess you call them. So I was nervous to go out pretty far. So it's like when you get a new toy, you kind of scared. You want to be like, oh, well, let me just go up and down, and that's it. And then I said, well, let me try and go forwards and backwards, and pretty soon I'll be doing like little circles and stuff. But right now, I'm just going left, right, front, back. Which I think that's the way a lot of people recommend. Just getting your bearings down when you're flying. Because not a normal vantage point for us little humans. We gotta only walk to where we go, follow a path. But when you're flying, no path. You kind of pretty much make your own path. And then the propellers on this is covered, so it's not a hazard if it was to fall. Some people get nervous when you're flying over them. You're not really supposed to fly over people, but sometimes you have to. You can't get from point A to from point B if you got you know people crossing the street, or you're in a park and people running around. So I think right here, I think I just brought it back and I said, well, let me try this again. So now I'm going back out straight again. And let's see. Yeah, it wasn't much to look at other than the pool and the tennis court. Like I said, the palm trees are beautiful. I'm gonna pause this recording right here. I'm not sure I'm playing with this software too. I'm using CapCut, and I do not know what I'm doing. I don't have a microphone plugged up. I'm just using my laptop's microphone that's built in. So won't be doing any music or anything for this one. So just enjoy the view with me. Fly out. So have two more flights I did. One is going to be coming up here in about another minute. This video is going to be about 20 minutes long. And I wasn't sure if it recorded audio on the actual drone. I think there's a way to do that, but when you're flying, you don't really hear nothing other than the propellers anyway, so it wouldn't make much sense to have it on. It's also where you can make the I guess your phone. You use your audio for your phone when you're flying, but the remote for the DJI has its own camera on it, so it has its own screen, so you don't really need to, hook it up to your phone. You can do that if you wanted to, but as you can see, the controllers on my hand. I feel more comfortable with the controller than try to use my screen on my phone, because connectivity issues are fierce out there. Lose connectivity, your drone is just gonna be just floating in the sky. So on this clip, I went from another viewpoint. I think I left from another building. My friend was staying on the 12th floor. So when you up high like this, it's much easier to keep an eye on your drone. So when I try to go in from the ground, I can barely see it because it goes up and it looks like a bird. And birds fly by you, or somebody walking by and ask you questions. You can lose your drone really quick, or you're not paying attention, and you go behind a palm tree or something. You're done ski, buddy. So I was real nervous over this street and these power lines and stuff. So right here, I was kind of nervous. I wasn't really, I don't think I wasn't really sure how to get back up. So, because at one point I start pushing the controller, and I was almost about to crash into the building. So I was like, that's no bueno. So let me just hover here for a minute till I calm my nerves down. So I'm just kind of hovering and panning the camera up and down. As you can see, before I wasn't really playing with the camera with the angle. So while you hovering, you can go up and down with the camera, which is a nice feature. But also, if you're looking down like this, you can't see if you're going sideways what you're about to fly into. So right here, you can see I'm getting real close to the wall, and I'm getting real close to that tree. And like I said, you don't want to hit that wall because that's a long drop right there. Also, like I said, I had friends who was on, I think, on the 5th floor, 6th floor, and the 12th floor. So that's us right there, and I'm trying to come in here without crashing. And boy, let me tell you, my nerves was bad. Right there, you breathe a little sigh of relief, swap out the batteries, and let's go again. Now here we on. We went to the island of Shalom, and again, I was super nervous because there's nothing but water out there. And these drones are not the type that can go in the water and come back out. And for some reason, when I did this one, the battery, I don't know if it was just the heat. It seemed like the battery didn't last very long on this one. So I think this was only about maybe 7, 8 minutes. I didn't want to get too low, of course, because you can see it's a lot of umbrellas and it's a lot of people out there that probably don't want to be recorded. But what can you do? You try to capture your memories and bring some good content without, exposing people or putting them out there. But it's just good old good time vacation. It's a lot of boats, a lot of vendors, and this girl out here, I met her. She was flying her drone when I got there, so I literally just walked up to where she was at and said, "Hey, let me check yours out." And I think she had a DJI Mini 3. I think she had. Like I said, I had to come back and swap my battery out, take off again. I didn't realize how fast I was flying. Like I said, part was my nerves, and I was worried because my battery had died. You don't want to get caught out there in the water and your battery starts to down you. 'Cause when it says return home, it'll go up like to 80 feet. And I had no idea where the home point was on showing on there. So when you have a home point, the home point can be over the water, and if it lands on the water, like I said, you a dead duck, my guy. $1,000 down the drain. Then I was kind of nervous too, because I mean, like it was so many people right here in this little area. I didn't want too many people coming up on me, and people start asking you questions. You get like distracted real easy. I think it was kind of windy. You can kind of see the wind going across the waves right there. And when the wind, if a gust of wind hits the drone, it won't really respond that well. So you kind of get stuck. It'll just hover until I guess the wind dies down, or maybe the signal is lost temporarily. I don't know. That's just the way it felt. I was trying to get all the boats, but I was definitely spinning around real fast on that one. Cause like I said, I was kind of, as you can see, I was kind of far from where I was standing, so wasn't quite sure what I was looking at, and I was just trying to keep an eye on the drone and not look down at the actual camera. So this definitely something you have to practice when you flying these drones. You got to be able to turn and keep your viewpoint like which way you like headed. Yep. So you see on her remote, she had her phone connected to her remote. Not sure what kind of remote she had, but my phone was not controlling it. I had the regular. I forgot what they call this. There's DJI 3, I think, is a controller. It's the latest DJI controller. And here we are at the beach. So again, it wasn't windy. It wasn't too crowded, and I got a lot of racetrack patterns on the beach. And it was a beautiful day. Not much clouds, no cloud cover. Wasn't too many people on the beach. And here, I think the police was kind of like sweating me a little bit. He was like, yo, he didn't really have no case. He was like asking me if I flew over some area that was closed, and I was like, don't know what you're talking about, my guy. I'm just flying up and down these little walkways here, and I think he was trying to punk me a little bit. So I had to bring it in, land it, and that was the end of this little quick flight. But I had a day before I was out there, and they didn't say nothing. So about to put that footage on here in a second. I got some friends that was talking to him, telling him, that I didn't go into the no fly zone or whatever he was talking about. But and right here, guess I didn't really realize I was still recording here. But hey, you get to see the guy here that normally sells the little souvenirs there, and a couple of my friends out there that wanted to like hang out and have a couple of drinks with me, and good people, pretty cool people out there. Some some buddies back there that was I met them. They from Canada right there behind me. Y'all been out there. Y'all probably seen that guy from Canada, the Scorpio. You heard dancing for the camera there for me. Yeah, she was real good people right there. Both of them, all of them, all four of them out there was pretty funny to hang out with and practice my Spanish with. See, the ladies is nice and friendly out there. Nice chicas. So I'm trying to go around to the dude. And I'm flying real low right here, so I'm super nervous. I'm trying to hover and not bump into nothing. Not trying to have the wind blow me into these umbrellas. So when I was getting my little confidence up, I was like, yeah, I'm about to try to maneuver through here like that's a obstacle course and show off a little bit. So I don't know those people right there. It's my homie T again. They go a hater right there. Canadian. See, trying to flip me the bird. A lot of people was amazed at my flying skills, but hey, it's that future right there. Everybody gonna have a drone in the future, I imagine. Look at them steady give me the bird. I tell you, boy, them Canadians. We're gonna make it the 51st state. We're gonna change that ginger ale that made from what Canada's going. We're gonna make it American. Canada Dry. We're gonna change it to American Dry. So I was checking the battery, checking the wind. You can see it's a little gusty right there. So I was like, maybe I can fly this a little bit more. Do about 2 more minutes. Do a little quick run along this beach. It was pretty empty out there on the beach. This was like a Saturday and close to about 5:30. So couldn't stay out there to the sunset, but close enough. Nice little waves. A lot of beautiful colorful umbrellas out there. Yep, pretty chill. That right there is a little lifeguard shack, and I don't think the lifeguard was on duty. If he was hiding in the back of that little shack, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people they get a little sideways when you got the drone on them, but the police be out there flying their drone, but they be in Central mostly. But like I said, it's definitely an experience, and a lot of people was like keeping an eye on it, like what am I gonna do with this little bitty drone? Like, can't do nothing but fly. I think right here I was getting real comfortable with it. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back down here to this lifeguard shack. You see, police is right there too, so they keep an eye on everybody out there. Few people in the water. I mean, I don't go out in the water too much because it's kind of dark over here. It's kind of muddy looking. Yep, and I think this is gonna be about the end of this vehicle. I said vehicle. End of this flight right here. So hope you enjoyed this video. This is the once again, this is the DJI FLIP drone 4K. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this on my channel. Like I said, I'm just starting out, so I'm just gonna play with it some more, and I'm trying to get the videos in the future have a little background music, and that's it.